Hey guys, chat, how you guys doing? So some big news here. Cash is now finally back into CS2. And honestly, man, I'm excited. I've actually been waiting for this for like ever since CS2 came out because this was actually my favorite map in CS:GO. When for many years, I was actually pretty disappointed when it was removed from the active map pool, even back in CS:GO, because I loved just seeing pro play on it. It was fun just playing on it. And yeah, you could play on competitive and all that even back then in CS:GO. You didn't have to was removed from the active duty map pool or whatever. But it was just cool seeing your pros play on it. The Shroud play is just, or the simple play, of course, is just iconic. And I've been really excited for this, and I'm just happy we're here. So let's go ahead and check out the update page real quick. Take a look here. Where's the actual page though? Okay, there it is. Okay, so today's features update will return to the classic. Welcome back, Cash. Cash veterans, hell yeah, will feel right back at home in familiar locations, while new players can quickly learn the inside and outs of a classic 3-lane map that tours strategy and team play. You can find cash and casual competitive modes for now. Don't forget for Lear Forklift, we'll see you in the server. All right. So I assume before I even read the actual patch notes themselves, I'm going to assume that cash is not in the actual active duty map pool yet. Like in Premier map pool or Pro Play or whatever yet, because it's make sure all the kinks are worked out and all that stuff. And I imagine they'll probably be even rotated within the map pool, like competitive map, like the full active duty rotation. For those who don't know, that's just again, I already kind of explained it in your mind. So I'm a dumbass. Don't worry about it. Let's just continue. But I assume it will probably won't be put into the active duty map pool until after the next major. And of course that'll give them time to work at any kinks in the map, any do weird bugs or any weird clipping issues that might happen, because that tends to happen with any new map release. So whether it be community map made or even Valve made. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, now let's read the patch notes, and then when we'll hop in game and we'll check out the actual map itself. Scroll then. Okay, added cache to competitive, casual, and deathmatch, and retake modes. Does too. Okay, they also made some changes to the maps too. Okay, so uncovered mid-box Xbox to reveal a previously hidden jump spot on purpose this time. Okay, so last time when they dropped the dead hand terminal, it was unintentional for them to push it, but it was supposed to happen eventually. So now it did, with this patch. Good to know. All right, so office enable collision on tarp boxes around CT spawn. Okay, nice. Stronghold updated than the latest version of the community workshop. Okay, so again, these two community maps are just updated by the actual map makers themselves and whatever. Enemy Graph 2, my adjustments to view model animations. Okay, talent Gambit knives now held correctly while diffusing. I guess that was a bug or something. I don't know. I just forgot to put that in. The minor mixture changes and adjustments. Fixed the issue received 4 equip sounds was not getting interrupted by other equip sounds. Okay. Remove first person death and the sound effect that played at the case of music at death cue being inaudible. Okay. Share fix for AO while using alpha test causing dark and chunky silhouettes and simulations of mirage. I actually did see some of these. I saw this on. Yeah, I did see this during when I was trying yesterday when I was trying to do some instant lineups. I was wondering then did they change something? But I guess it was just an unintentional thing. Fixed a case where it was possible to hold no weapons by requesting a hand switch after throwing a grenade. Okay, so those are the actual patch notes. Let's go ahead and just hop right in, and we'll see how it goes. Hey guys, feature wrap here and everything. So, I was recording this also when I was streaming this originally, but unfortunately the recording that I was using was not usable in this video and everything. So it is what it is, and that's just due to sound bugs and other stuff, and just me being a dumbass. But I digress. Anyways, so even if they won't get my raw reaction to of the map or anything like that, you'll still get some of my thoughts on it and the walk around, obviously. So here we go. All right, guys. So here is the main menu with the map and everything. We were in T-Spawn as back here and everything, and I want to show you guys this before we moved on to the actual map, and we'll just check it out right now. Hey guys, now here we are in the actual NT spawn now, and on his again is an offline map for you. But before we get started, well, there's actually something I wanted to show you guys and everything, and I actually appreciate Valve for doing this. It's actually kind of cool they did this. Came out here and outside of in clip out here, you'll see that there's this plaque in different languages, and both in looks like Russian or some sort of Slavic language, and English and everything. And the English translation says to the heroes and professionals, to those who protected the world from nuclear disaster, and honor those of the 20th anniversary of shelter object construction. Um, the date is, November 30th, 2006. So, for those who don't know, this whole entire map cache is a map that's based on Chernobyl, essentially. And if you know anything about your history, it's very unfortunate. The whole entire city that Chernobyl was based on, which is Pripyat, I believe. I could be completely wrong. If I were Pripyat, I can't pronounce it. I'm so sorry. But I'll just leave it here. Like, sorry, this is a screenshot of what it actually is. But yeah, that's essentially what happened. And of course, a lot of people got displaced, and it was a very unfortunate event that happened throughout history. So it's nice that Valve commended those who were for those individuals who helped stop it from getting worse than it already was. So good on you, Val. Thank you very much. All right, so that's going to be the actual map itself. So here's T-spawn. When it's into the background, etc. Right. So, well, I guess we'll start with A first, right? So here on the way A, and of course there's inside the garage and all that. But here we have our little boost area. We see in the mid, and I'll show you more mid once we actually get over there. But here's A main. Let's go in. You'll notice that it's actually a little bit darker, I feel, in comparison to the original and whatnot, but it kind of makes a lot of sense, and this is definitely more like, feels more the abandoned feel, I guess you could say. So there's also lockers. Now lockers isn't as high, it seems. It's also not angled like it was in the past. It does feel a little bit smaller, but maybe that's just me. Oh, but I think it's a nice little change. Okay, so in here is also the rest of A main. Then we're here on the A site. There's our forklift area. They kind of removed the little. I mean, in FM Phone's version, you will probably remember that there was this little like green trash can that was right here, and this little wall that was right here that's been replaced. Up here is our forklift. Here is our crusher shred right here, a squeaky door right here. Here is, of course, the Sire's default. There's no, like, light poles here that you can stand on anymore. There's quad and BK. Now, there's also Squeaky. I'm gonna show you Squeaky quick. So Squeaky, this used to be a concrete wall, but it seems that you can actually blast between wall thing through. So it's not as an awkward thing to clear if you're trying to, like, clear somebody this or something, right? That's a nice little gameplay change. Just be aware of if you're whenever you play on this map. Going through back here. Here's the area. Now, usually in this area, when it goes into Squeaky, you'll notice that, like, typically around here was like this little broken, like, wall kind of thing. Now it's just, that. I guess I'm broken elevators. That's kind of cool. So there's nice little murals and long as this hell, everything like that. Yeah, like how it does in the workshop version. Phone booth is completely gone, etc. Right, so that's basically what the A side is like. Let's go through mid, and we'll go through this way. Of course, the garage. It is like there's no like glass anymore, but yeah, I mean they weren't like broken or whatever, or they weren't breakable at least in the FM phone version. But there was more light in here, which I do kind of miss. The more light, but it's okay, I suppose. And here again, here's the little connector area. Here's actually wall bangable glass. And this is still wall bangable. I did test that earlier. You can still wall bang that pretty easily. So that's still very much wall bangable. They didn't like remove that completely. Here's all the rest of mid, so instead of having just like a white concrete slab or a statue here, you just have like a slab, looks like asphalt, or I guess technically it's still concrete, but it's darker concrete. Got your sandbags here. Not as sandy back here, or as brown back here, I've noticed. Or tan, I should say. Here's Z. Alright, here's highway first. The white box, of course, is still here, but it's not as white as it usually has been in the past. So if you're a new player, this is typically called white box because it's been typically white historically speaking. Here's the right here's like on catwalk. Not really not here like how there used to be. But there is a broken part of everything like right here, which you can kind of jump off into. I noticed that. So there's that. So now let's go back into zero quick. I do want to show you something. So you notice there are these windows up here, but I have found that those you can't really boost on to get a good angle on anybody outside or whatever. It's pretty much like they also completely remove like the little small little hole here that FMPone did on his rework, like for flash, but for like flash bangs and all that stuff. So you can't really do that anymore. But maybe like Valve could like remove like the top part, and it still wouldn't be boostable. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I put like a bot here, right, and then maybe put like I don't know, a bot on top of here or something. Hello, right? Let me just do bot mimic 0 for example, right? You'll notice that it does not. He's not really high enough to get on top and then see over through the window. Which is okay, right? Which is I guess is kind of cool. You can't boost the top of it here or there. I've noticed. So I did try that. It doesn't work. It is what it is. But also, even if you were to boost up here, you can't really see anything because all of this is fogged out, so you can't really see anything anyways. So it's not really even worth it. Even if you were to try to get it, it was not really worth it. Maybe like Valve can open this window up, and maybe you could like throw like a flashbang through it or something, like how FMPone had it originally. But no, it's just how this is. Kind of cool. It's not still detail up here again, all blocked off by like cliff rushes, whatever. But it is what it is. So now here is like truck that is back here, and so usually for lineups for like a smoke, you'd like aim like the top of like a like this little hammer sickle thing. But I guess in China they don't allow it for whatever reason. Which is kind of surprising because China was historically communist, but I guess they removed the hammer and sickle in there, so they just don't only want to make like one like I guess one map for everybody. Since China's also playing is able to trade with us now and all that stuff. So I don't know. Point is, right here. I'm guessing if you aim like right here, be my guess with the correct lineup. I could be wrong. Yeah, so that'd be good. That'd be a new lineup for like the like man, for example. So if aim at a sickly, it's kind of like aim like middle, like over here or whatever, and just let go, and it'll bounce right in. So there you go. There's your new lineup for a main smoke, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, they also then it kind of brings me to B side. We'll go to right now. Well, first I'll show the CT side first. The CT side feels like this is more open than it was compared to previous versions, and now my sound just cut off. It is what it is. Might be a sound bug in the game or something. But here is the actual, CT spawn. Okay, yeah, so there's a sound bug in the game right now. So these windows were not wall banging. Like these used to be a concrete wall on both sides, and it wasn't as open. But now these are glass. You can actually wall bang through these now quite easily. So where this was to be a very common safe position back here in CT spawn, I'd be very careful because you can get wall banged pretty easily. Just something that I noticed. So now it's gonna get back onto tree room again. So also this opening from CT and all that to tree room is actually pretty wide open too. And of course, when it comes to tree room, the actual glass itself, well, a lot of it's missing what wasn't before, so you get a bit more of a, it feels more open with light and everything. I guess you could say. Also, this seems a bit more lit area than it was before. At least in the workshop version. And the actual CS:GO versions have seemed a bit about the same-ish, or a little bit probably a little dimmer, or a lot depending who you ask. But if you go up here, and here is B. Here's what I show you. So if you notice that like that wall was not open before. This wall was completely like closed and had a hammer sickle on and behind it, etc. And unfortunately, there's no simple spray right here, unfortunately, which is kind of surprising because that was a very iconic play, and that spray was there for a long time. Of course, now the little portal that goes right into like tree room is open skybox now. So you can probably throw some like retake utility, especially if it's open sky right here, right? But you can also if you notice, if you I'll cover the open this little area that by sunroom for later, but There's checkers right here in case you're curious. So it actually seems a bit a little bit later than it was in the workshop version. But actually, it's a little like around the same, but ish, I would say. But yeah, this is checkers now. Nothing much has changed. You can't really do the self boost on top of like here anymore. But besides that, it's pretty much like feels the same. Now, as far as B main, here's B main. Here's the rest of the site, in case you're curious. No, I was gonna ask. You can't really. It's not a light pole, like in a light pole or light lamp, like a lamp or something. Sorry. A lamp you can boost on here anymore. It seems. It seems that they quickly removed that ability to do that. So if you're playing Heaven, you can only play around like here all the way down in the room and over here, pretty much. So that's beware of that little change there. And okay, now here's headshot angle. Here's headshot. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into B main and all that fun stuff. So again, here is B halls or B main, right? And here's sunroom. As you notice that like the windows are here are not breakable right here, but it does have this whole entire open area thing right here. So you don't have to break anything beforehand or whatever for your lineups. You just throw it. However, it is a little lower, so I have noticed that. And here's the rest of B halls, and here's gone, right? And then in here, we're back to T's no T spawn. There's no tire anymore. Unfortunately, I do miss the tire, but it is what it is. They removed the little step thing right here. Looks like, and yeah, that is pretty much the gist of Cache as currently out by Valve. Hello, chat. Feature wrap here again. I just realized this, but new box is gone, and that's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching so much. It was nice fun. I can't wait to play this and like and face it and everything, and premiere eventually whenever they add it to during season, like, I think it's 5 now. Yeah, season 5. And which is just, and yeah, so take care. Thanks for watching. Good night. So yeah, bye bye.